We on?
Yeah, we're on.
Okay, well, hello everybody. Welcome back to this special episode of the NerdTalk podcast. My name is Alex. With me is Vance, as
Hello.
always. And our special guest today is Daniel, one of my good friends.
Thank you for having me on, gentlemen. It's an honor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
now, I'm sure that everyone is aware that one of the greatest comedians of the modern era has passed, Mr. Robin Williams. So, we decided to make this special episode as a tribute where we will discuss his career and how he's really impacted the world around him.
Yeah.
And this will be going up in the
When-
middle of the week. So,
Actually, when he passed away, I didn't know about it until a good friend of mine told me. And there had been a hoax before of his death, so I didn't believe it at first. I was like, yeah, alright, that's just a joke. Like, there's no way Robin Williams is actually dead. And then he sent me the link to the news article, and I read the whole thing and turned on CNN. I mean, it was everywhere.
oh yeah.
Facebook was covered, Tumblr was covered, Twitter was covered.
Oh yeah, I looked at
It was
Twitter.
insane.
And it was, yeah. And Alex, I was talking to Alex about what we were doing for our next podcast. And I sent him a message, and he just replied back with one of his idols had died. And you know, it was kind of the same thing. You know, I had seen the hoax before, so I didn't really believe it. And then I went on Twitter, Facebook, and I turned on the news, and it was all over the place. And you know, it's really shocking whenever somebody like that just dies out of the blue.
Especially someone that's like influenced an entire generation, maybe even two generations with his movies.
Yeah.
Because he's
I mean-
been in TV and movies ever since the 1970s.
Yeah.
Where he got his start in Mork and Mindy. Some of you may not
That
remember
that show is fantastic. I freaking love Mork and Mindy.
But his first movie, I remember, is Popeye, and I mean it was okay, but
I haven't seen Popeye yet, but that's on my list of movies to watch.
yeah. But I think where he really got popularity, like massive popularity, was from Flubber. Everybody's heard of Flubber.
I would
Movies such as,
disagree.
like,
I also disagree on that. Dead Poets Society came out before Flubber, and
Well,
I
I
believe
mean-
even Aladdin came out before then.
Yeah, but then you also had Good Morning Vietnam, so
That is true.
I mean, that was
Where does was Mrs. Doubtfire before or after Flubber?
It was before Flubber, so he had already
was?
gotten a few movies under his belt. Flubber came out in '97, and he's already Dead Poets Society came out in '89, Aladdin '92, Mrs. Doubtfire '93.
huh.
He's already had a few. He's already had a few good movies under his belt.
Yeah.
My
I mean,
timeline's
Flubber was a
way
great
off
movie,
then.
don't get me wrong. Flubber was a great movie. I mean, that was my childhood right there.
That was actually the first Robin Williams movie I had watched,
I think that's the same for me, too.
and
I think
I absolutely
I'm-
loved it.
I think I'm with a lot of people when my first seeing of Robin Williams was when he did a genie for Aladdin,
Yeah.
and
I actually think I saw
he was one of my
Flubber before
favorite.
that. Yeah, I think
Aladdin's a great movie.
Oh yeah,
I listened to A Friend Like Me last night, and I started crying.
yeah.
Because, I mean, yes, everyone is upset over Robin Williams' death, but the thing for me is he's the reason that I do a lot of the stuff that I do today. He was my role model. He was my inspiration. So, like, his death has hit me hard.
Right.
And it's still unbelievable. Like, I'm still in shock and disbelief that he's gone.
Right.
I'm in a similar boat. I mean, a lot of when I try and be funny, I try and do Robin Williams. Granted, he is far better than mine. I think there was a quote they were talking about him and his friendship with Billy Crystal, and Billy Crystal kind of compared him trying to outdo Robin Williams in humor is trying to outdo the Civil War. It's hard to do.
Yeah. You can't.
Yeah.
No one will ever come close to the magnitude of Robin Williams. No one will ever beat that.
Because
It's just go on.
well, from what I've seen in all of Robin Williams' movies, you can look at it, and he's got some really outstanding performances, really serious, and he nails it. and then he's got some more hilarious, funny roles, and he nails it. And
Hmm.
it's like he's got an elastic personality. He's all over the place.
Yeah.
He can be dead serious, or he can be funny. Your choice. Like What Dreams May Come. That was a pretty serious movie, and he nailed it. But movies like Flubber, a little funnier, he nailed it. And
Hmm.
I don't think anyone will ever be able to match that level of just his explosive personality.
Exactly.
Even so, like even his acting, like a lot of it was
Hmm.
improv.
Yep.
What I think it's Good Will Hunting. I saw a clip of it. I've never seen the movie before, but there's a clip where he's talking to a kid about a girl he's into, and he talks about a joke about his wife farting in bed, and that was completely improv.
Hmm.
And even not even with that movie, I think in Aladdin there's at least 12 hours of like unused footage of Robin Williams just improving as Genie. So
Right.
he's a really good actor, and people just kind of let him do his thing, and it turns out great. It really
And
does.
he's an incredible stand-up comedian. He's done
Oh
a
my
little bit
God,
of
yes.
stand-up, and
Not a
he
little
is
bit. He's done a lot of it.
yeah, and
He's done a lot of stand-up.
he's absolutely awesome at it, and
Well,
that's
going back to his improv skills. Have either of you seen Good Morning Vietnam?
bits and
That is
pieces, but it's on my
that is a
list.
movie. That's a movie that's on my list. Again, bits and
Oh.
pieces. It is on my list though.
I have been watching some Robin Williams movies in the past couple of days. I watched Mrs. Doubtfire and Flubber
movie.
yesterday. I'm planning on watching Good Morning Vietnam and Jumanji today.
This isn't a spoiler or anything, but because you're familiar with the plot, aren't you? He's a radio DJ.
Yeah.
Mm.
For all his radio broadcasts that he did on that movie, every single one of them was improvised. There was no script. It was just, he went.
I don't
That
doubt
doesn't
that.
that doesn't surprise me at all.
And there's even, if you've watched Mork and Mindy, which I don't know if both of you have, which it's a great show if you haven't seen it. But there are times where he's going off on a tangent, that's not scripted. That if you watch Mindy, you can tell she's trying not to laugh, like because she's not expecting him to do what he's doing. And there are even parts in the script that just say Robin goes off here, and that's where he would just improvise stuff.
Yeah.
That show was fantastic.
He's probably one of the greater improv artists. Because, like I said, he's all over the place. He can do serious movies, he can do funny movies, he can do stand-up, and he can do improv. He's all over the place. That's what makes him such a good actor. And, like I said, I don't think anyone will ever be able to match up to him.
No,
Exactly.
no one can do that.
When
I mean,
go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, going off with it's really hard to doing it. I mean, this is kind of like an odd, just kind of place to put this, but I know when they made it, I'm not entirely sure if it was a real serious jab or just kind of a lighthearted jab, but Family Guy made a little jab at Robin Williams, and they say, "Oh, remember the time I was Robin Williams' bouncing off point?" And it's really hard to keep up with it because anything you say, he'll probably go off with it. He'll go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
He can operate under any conditions and go off anything you give him. And that's what made him such a great actor.
Not just actor, but comedian, because it's hard to do what he does. I mean, I've tried it. You can't do what Robin Williams does.
I mean, I
You
know
have to be Robin
I know
Williams.
that you've tried your hand at stand up.
And I sucked at it.
Hey,
Oh, don't
everyone,
be hard on yourself.
look, I've seen your talent. I've seen your talent show performances, and I think you did pretty good.
But
Yeah.
Robin Williams
one
is
near-
the inspiration.
No one near Robin Williams level, that's for sure. But you
Oh,
still did a
of
pretty
course
good.
not.
You still did a pretty good job.
He's the reason I do impressions. He's the reason I try stand up. It's all because of him. And I'm grateful for his existence.
As am I. As am I.
But last night when I was watching Good Morning Vietnam, there's a line in that movie. This isn't a spoiler alert, but some guy says to Robin Williams, "He's your roommate, so you might want to consider suicide." And I was just like, "Oh no, oh crap!"
Yeah.
I think I picked the wrong movie to watch
Yeah.
because For those of you who aren't familiar, and you probably are all familiar, he committed suicide, and that was rough. That part made me cry. It was supposed to be funny, but I lost it.
Yeah. Um, but some of his later performances, I don't know. Like, have you guys seen RV?
Oh yes,
RV. I believe I have.
it
I mean,
came out a few years ago.
Yeah. I liked it, but in all due honesty, I don't think it was one of his better performances. Because
I mean,
it wasn't just him; it was more or less the movie as a whole.
Yeah,
But
I mean, there are times where there are just things that one actor can't really carry the whole movie. I mean, I'll bring up the Star Wars prequels with it. A lot of the actors in there are pretty good. Samuel L. Jackson, Hayden Christensen. It's all that can be all the writing. So
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson as well. I mean, all of them. I mean, they're all great actors. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes if you're given a script, you can't do much with it. I mean, maybe Robin Williams definitely made that movie better, but
And that's the thing that makes me mad about the prequels. People always say that Jar Jar Binks destroyed them. Well, one character can't destroy a series. But that's a topic for another discussion.
yeah. I actually, when RV came out in theaters, I actually saw it because my parents were Robin Williams fans, and it just seemed like and also we go camping a lot, so we figured that would be a great movie to see. And honestly, I liked it. It's a good movie. It's got a good plot, and I mean, it's got Robin Williams in it, so you can't go wrong there. But it's not a great movie. It's not like quality Hollywood. But there is.
It's not a movie you will remember in like a few days. I mean, it's a good time, but you're not going to remember it.
Right.
It's something that you found funny the first time you watched it, but the second, third, eventually it's not something you wanted to see again. Like, it's not something you wanted to watch every day.
Well, I would watch it again if I could find it. We have it somewhere.
I mean, one of the movies that was done relatively recently, was Night at the Museum, and that's a fantastic movie, especially with Robin Williams as Teddy Roosevelt. That just naturally fit.
Yeah. Like I said, it's all about the dynamic personality. He managed to fit all that into Teddy Roosevelt, and it was absolutely fantastic.
What really makes me upset, though, was in the second one, he wasn't in it as much.
Yeah.
He was only in that movie for maybe collectively 5 minutes, maybe longer, maybe 10, 15. Because he was in the beginning, and then they go to the Smithsonian, and there's just a bust of Roosevelt, and that's all you see of Robin Williams that whole movie.
Yeah, that does.
But I mean, I vaguely remember. Maybe someone somewhere will probably disprove me on this if I am, but I feel like when they asked him to do the sequel, Robin Williams wasn't too keen on doing it, and so maybe that's why he wasn't in it as much.
That might be it. That's usually the reason for that kind of thing, is that the actor really isn't interested in the project anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But he is going to be in the third one. He is in the third one because they finished filming it.
Oh, they did?
That is in post-production. Yep, it's in post-production. Yep.
Sweet.
So we actually have a couple more Robin Williams movies coming out.
I think 3. I have his IMDb page pulled up. It's the third Night at the Museum, and then another one's called Merry Friggin' Christmas and Absolutely Anything.
Yeah. So those are the final movies we'll get with Robin Williams.
I know that the last movie he released, at least I think it's been released, is called The Boulevard.
It's one of them, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's released. I think that was his last movie while he was still alive. Haven't seen it, but it's supposed to be okay.
He has a huge filmography. It's kind of amazing.
IMDb credits him for 104 things, so
yeah,
he's been around. He's been around, and as he should be, he's a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think one of my favorite movies is Bicentennial Man.
Oh my god, I love that movie.
Now,
I don't think I've seen that.
I actually was in I was actually in a tech ed class, and when you watch that, it's kind of the end year kind of thing.
Hmm.
And it, it was it was a really great movie. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's basically in the future we have these robots, and this one family gets this robot, and the robot's purpose is to take care of the house, take care of the kids and stuff. And over time, like it's almost like 100 years have passed. He gets his own skin and everything. He looks almost human, and he actually appeals to this committee. Um, I'm gonna try and keep the spoiler free. He appeals to this committee to become human, and it's not really a tearjerker, but it's still a really good movie, and I suggest everybody go check it out.
Yeah, and the cool thing about Bicentennial Man is it has both Robin Williams' drama, because he can do drama acting, but there's also a lot of that humor, and it balances those both really well. It's one of my favorite Robin Williams movies, just
Like I
because it's so good.
And like I said, he can pull that off. There's not a lot of people who can pull off a serious performance and then just swap to comedy in the same movie.
Exactly.
Not many people can do that. Robin Williams can pull it off, and he can do it with pizzazz. He can do
Oh
it
yeah.
with flair. He's
Hmm. I agree.
um,
I had something I was going to bring up about him, but now I can't remember. Oh, I think what's going to be really hard for a while now is watching the movie What Dreams May Come.
oh yeah,
If you've seen that, because it's all about him dying and going to heaven. So it's kind of
that is a
real now.
tearjerker. Even
That's
before he died, I cried at that one.
and that one. I don't really think that movie had that much humor in it. Now that I think
No, that's one of his
about
more
it.
serious. That's one of
Hmm.
his more serious performances.
But even then, it's still a great movie for
Oh
as
yeah.
serious as it is.
Oh
Like
yeah.
'cause when I saw it for the first time, I went in expecting it to be, not like hilarious because I knew what the plot was, but I expected some humor out of it. But I wasn't let down. It's a good movie. It has a good plot, and it's just great. I think it's one of his best.
Oh yeah.
I guess someone on the topic. I haven't seen the movie, but he was on a talk show, and someone asked him, "What do you think will be at the pearly gates?" And he says, "Well, I think it'll be something like I want to see like concerts of like Beethoven, Mozart, and all
Mhm.
them, and you get to pick and choose, or that God has a sense of humor. Like I want to see him tell him a joke, like two Jews walk in a bar. I want to see that."
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that interview. They've been playing
And
that interview a lot on the news.
they have, and a lot of like a lot of people are like they think that if anyone can make God laugh, it's him, and I totally believe it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The world is a sadder place because he's gone, but heaven just got a whole lot funnier.
Yep.
And it's just amazing the legacy he left behind. Because I don't use Twitter anymore, but I heard that 8 out of the 10 trending topics on Twitter were all about Robin Williams
Oh
for
yeah.
the last
They
couple
are.
days.
They
That's
are.
amazing.
I've been checking my Twitter constantly to see if there's anything about that, and all I see is either "Rest in peace, Robin," "R.I.P. Robin Williams," "R.I.P. Williams," "R.I.P. Robin."
Yeah,
It's
it makes me happy to see
that so
that
many people
he
cared
did that.
about this. It
Mhm.
it makes me happy that humanity truly cares about such a prominent figure in our comedic history.
But what really kind of hurts the most about his death is the fact that, for a long time he had been suffering depression, and the only thing he really did throughout that, or wanted to do throughout that, was make people happy.
Yeah, that's the thing
Mhm.
that really um gets me.
That hits
Robin
hard.
Robin was such an amazing character, not just because he was an absolutely outstanding human being. He was fighting depression for such a long time, and all he did was try to make other people happy. And in my mind, that makes Robin Williams an outstanding human being.
Yeah. A man who wasn't even happy himself only cared about the happiness of others. and that's just awesome.
It's awesome and yet sad at the same time that for a man that gave so much people joy, he saw no other way out, and
Hmm.
it really is saddening because I remember, and a lot of the time, if not for his movies, I remember him for his philanthropy, for his fans, for St. Jude. It's a lot. I remember seeing his face a lot for philanthropy, and
Hmm.
it really touches my heart whenever I saw that especially when I was a kid. So
Yeah.
Right.
And even now, 2 days after his death, everything is still kind of all about Robin Williams. He's still everywhere. And I think it's going to be like that for a long time.
Honestly, I think the only reason it's like that is because everybody is still in shock. Nobody expected this.
Mhm.
It was just so sudden. I mean, most.
the movie,
Sorry, go ahead.
the movie. Thank you. The movie world is really shocked. Like a lot of the celebrity people have been shocked. Ellen DeGeneres was
Oh, yeah.
completely shocked. Billy Crystal really had no words. His daughter as well. There's even a couple of the people like critics out there, mainly from the internet. Nostalgia Critic has released a video today about his opinions. Go watch that. Jeremy Johns, who does a lot of contemporary movies, did a review on Aladdin, and any ad revenue generated by that YouTube video, go watch it. It will be donated to. I think it's a charity that will help people with depression to kind of wipe it out, all just for Robin. And so a lot of it is, it's a lot of these people have respect for him.
Hmm.
So it's just great to see a lot of these people react so well to him.
Robin Williams seemed like the kind of guy that would live forever.
He does.
And
He probably will.
well, no,
like-
I actually had that thought a couple months ago. Robin Williams is never going to die. He's the guy that's going to live forever.
And to be quite honest, maybe this makes me a little ignorant, but after watching Bicentennial Man, I thought he was going to live forever.
Yeah, that's where I thought too. But the thing about Robin Williams is he may not live forever physically, but the legacy he left behind,
In just movies and
his
everything
comedy,
he's done.
everything he done, yeah, it's not
Of
going
course.
anywhere.
No.
Nothing will ever compare to Robin Williams. Nobody will ever come close. And
Because he made such believable performances. I was afraid to play board games after watching Jumanji.
There was actually a Jumanji board game that they released after the movie, and I played it once, and it's scary.
It is a very scary. Yeah, dude. You have animals just come out and try and get you. You get lost in the swamp, dude. That game is no. Don't play that game unless you want to get spooked out.
I actually read this post on Tumblr. It said Robin Williams really isn't dead. He's stuck in a board game waiting for somebody to roll a 5 or an 8.
That's funny.
That is good. That is funny.
Yeah, I'm there. I don't know if you guys ever feel this, but like there are times where it's like you think about him and you can't believe that he's dead, and then it just kind of hits you, and it's like, holy crap, Robin Williams is gone.
I can't look at the newspaper anymore. I really can't. If it has Robin Williams' face, I literally turn away, and it still hurts.
Yeah.
And this is gonna sound really bad, but it's true. But like because I lost my grandpa a couple month ago, and now Robin Williams has died, and I've kind of cried. Well, I haven't cried harder, but I felt more sad about the death of Robin Williams than I have my own grandfather.
That is.
And
That
well,
is
I think
sad.
the reason that is, and don't get me wrong, I was incredibly upset when my grandfather died. I still am. But the thing with Robin Williams is he changed my life. He impacted who I am. He made me do what I do. And losing him is kind of like losing a favorite uncle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just weird. And not to mention the fact that Robin Williams and I actually do have a lot in common. He underwent open heart surgery in 2009, just a few short months before I did. So it was really cool. And he had the same exact problem that I did. His heart valve wasn't working, so they had to go and replace it, which is the same exact thing that happened to me. And I just thought it was so cool that my idol had the same heart problem that I did, and that I could relate to him through that.
Mhm.
And it's pretty awesome. Well, it's not awesome they had a heart problem. Heart problems suck, but
The
It's
fact
just
that you
amazing
had
that you
something
can
in
connect that
common.
way.
yeah. And
Yeah,
it's
I
even
gotcha.
scarier because when I was watching the news the day he died, one of the points that they brought up was that having a heart condition is connected to depression. So I was like,
Mm.
um, that's unfortunate because
Mm.
I have a heart condition, but it's it's just amazing. The everything he did, his legacy, his life.
Right, right. So,
Um,
He's done. He's certainly given more to the world than the world was given him. It seems.
yeah,
yeah,
and that upsets me because he deserved much more than what he got.
yeah.
He he shouldn't have had that depression. He doesn't deserve that.
No, he doesn't.
He was a great man, and the world will be a darker place without him.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right. So we are running out of time. So any final words, gentlemen?
Just want to wish the family of Robin Williams well. They have my condolences, and I'm just continually thinking of Robin Williams, and I hope that he rests in peace.
Daniel.
I would say again, my condolences and deepest regret that this is the circumstances that he had, that he went on, but the whole world is behind them. At least a lot of the good world is behind them, and I suggest going and checking out Jeremy Johns' movie review of Aladdin, so you can go and have some money donated to charity to end depression, for it is a very serious condition. I'll link it to you guys if you want to post it in the description or something. I'll just in case you want to kind of support that, but if not, that's fine. Go watch it. It's good.
Okay, and my condolences to the family. Um, the world is a much darker place, and I just wish the family. I hope they can get through this all right. And I'm very sorry for their loss, and I'm very sorry for the loss of the world with Robin Williams, because he was he was an incredible man.
I kind of wish that we were actually filming this, so I could stand on my desk and just say, "Oh, Captain, my Captain."
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Oh, Captain,
Captain.
my Captain. Anyway, I think that's all the time we have, right, Vance?
Absolutely. So,
All right.
comment down below what your favorite Robin Williams movie is, and until next time,